I'm glad that here at this office, we have come together to thank the soldiers and families who've answered the call of duty for their fellow Americans. We admire their patriotism, we admire their bravery, their commitment, but also we remember that these men and women are real people. They are our neighbors, our relatives, and individuals who we care about each and every day. And they're often referred to as ordinary. They have accomplished extraordinary acts to secure the freedoms that we all cherish and the freedoms that we defend each and every day in our work. We see these people every day. They're our neighbors, as I mentioned. We see them at the store, service centers. They're often right beside us, even if we don't always notice. And we obviously should recognize that they make great personal sacrifices for our comfort, for our security, our peace of mind, and as citizens of this great country. In fact, we are fortunate to have veterans serving in all of our bureaus here in the Office of the Attorney General, from litigation to information technology, and in offices from Suffolk County to Buffalo. And while we may know people who are veterans, we will never truly appreciate what they endured to keep us, our families, and our communities safe from harm. And so we owe them a debt of gratitude that can never truly be repaid. So I want to thank all of them for their service. And I want to thank everyone who was in this room and everyone who was online. And I want to point out that many more members of the OAG team continued their service to the public after leaving the military. Their mission to protect your fellow Americans wasn't over, and they felt the call to serve. And we are so fortunate that they answered it, and they did so with each of us here in this office. Now it is my honor and my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Viviana DeCohen. Did I say it right? She's the Commissioner of the New York State Department of Veteran Services. She has served in the United States Marine Corps, and she was also Commissioner of the Mount Vernon Veteran Service Agency and the Associate Pastor at Mount Vernon Heights Congregational Church. Commissioner DeCohen has worked hard to help veterans get access to food and to shelter and clothing and education and jobs. She sees them each and every day. It is her driving mission to make sure that they know that they are not alone. She also inspires others, which is why so many call her Mama V. And as Commissioner of the New York State Department of Veteran Services, she leads an agency that stands up for New York veterans and their families. She knows, like I, and she recognizes that in today's society, no veteran should be living on our streets. No veteran should be homeless. We should do all that we can to make sure that they get the benefits that they've earned through their service. Her agency offers free benefits advice from experienced advisors, all of whom are veterans themselves, and they recognize and they understand what veterans go through each and every day. These advisors work in offices across the state, helping veterans and their families with social, medical, and financial issues. And the Commissioner's life shows how well this agency helps veterans move forward after their service. Her military service helped her earn a bachelor in behavioral science and a master's degree in health service management from Mercy College. And then she started working with veterans and creating programs to support their academic and their personal growth. She is now working towards her doctorate in educational leadership and gerontology at Concordia University in Chi-Town, Chicago. The Commissioner's accomplishments are truly inspiring. Your determination shows us the strength that comes from the diversity of our armed forces and the high quality of those who serve. And most importantly, your work reminds us that honoring veterans should go beyond just 1 month, 1 day. It should be a life's commitment. And I know, obviously, we need to deal with so many individuals who are dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, and individuals who are struggling, obviously, with mental health challenges. But most importantly, we need to make sure that we honor veterans and let them know that we appreciate them and their dedication. And the fact is that each and every day, they go beyond the call of duty for all of us. We want to thank all of the veterans who here in the Office of the Attorney General who recognize the importance of freedom, defending our Constitution and the rule of law, who wake up each and every day, obviously, with a commitment to serving New Yorkers. And so now it's my honor and my privilege to present to all of you, Commissioner DeCohen, who has been such a resolute and a caring leader, and someone we are honored and privileged to have in our midst. Madam Commissioner.
go, people want to know who we are, so we tell them we are veterans, mighty, mighty veterans, rock. Happy and healthy Veterans Month to you. I want to thank this wonderful body here, our wonderful Attorney General, Tish James. I want to thank you, Bianca. Thank you to this wonderful staff and team. And now to our romping, stomping veterans, those who have served, their families, their survivors, and the caregivers. I am here to say thank you. Madam James said so much of what I already have in my speech. I could just take my seat now and go get something else. But truly, I wanted to come here in person. We have been traveling across this great state since November 1st, and we are traveling the remainder of this week with our veterans programs and services. Thank you again, Madam Tish James, for imploring this since 2019 as part of your DEI to now put your service and your money where the thank you is. Thank you for doing that. I'm sharing with people across this state for the past 4 years the etymology of the real meaning of service. This is something that those of you who have served, and just so you know, we've not been saying veterans. We have been saying for those who served. Those who served with me in the 70s or the 80s, we know that our off-board was not one that we were told that we were veterans. Our off-board was a little bit different. We did not have a transition. We did not have preparation to be told that this is how you translate your military service to now the civilian world. We did not have smooth transport or transportation, being told that now your services go on and continue into eligible benefits, into a VA. We were told, here's what you're entitled to. Here's your VA home loan papers. You put your money in VEAP. That's right, not GI Bill. It was called VEAP. We were told Veterans Education Assistance Program. And then if you were not realistic, you were told, there's the door. So many from the 70s and 80s that we are still finding today do not perceive themselves to be a veteran by way of that lack of discharge transition. Nor do many assume the title of veteran by way of their military occupational specialty, their MOS, or their service number that they had. Many will still say across this great state, I served for 10 years in the Army, but I was only a journalist. I'm not really a veteran. And so we now have the same thing that I needed. I don't have to tell you, as someone who has served, you will utilize your experience to ensure that others do not have to go through the same thing that you do. This is part of service. This is what our Attorney General knows and faces every day. She understands first the etymology of the word service, which is to travail, as in having to have labor pains, as in having to push past your own comforts. Those who worn the uniform and sworn the oath, we know this because we had to do something called boot camp. And I tell people, listen, those of us in the 70s and 80s, we did not have the triple sound out headsets on the rifle range. It's okay if you did, but we fought for that for you. We did not have gloves climbing those ropes. 38 years later, I still got the calluses to prove every climb and every battle. We went into a gas chamber if you went to boot camp, and we had to unmask and sing the national anthem. AKA, we had to ensure that we were putting our own comforts on the back burner, that others would ensure their comforts and their freedoms. This is something that our AG knows all too well. We know that this comes with travail, it comes with labor, it comes with having to push past the pains of your own comforts. Those of us who worn the uniform say it is embracing the suck and doing it anyway. For the families that have served alongside us, it is waiting for that phone call or that letter. My son is in the Navy 20 plus years now. I have not heard from him for 8 months. It is serving. It is often without thanks. You will not always get the awards, you will not always get the accolades, your name will not always be called, but this is why we have stepped up to do what so many others did not do, could not do. I'm an 80s Marine. I was 1983. 44 of us began, 14 of us finished. You all know who have been here and experienced that. Everyone did not cross that line. And here's what I tell people. There is nothing that we will ask you or tell you that we need, because we don't need anything. But it is now what you have earned by way of your service, by way of your travail, by way of your embracing the suck and doing it anyway. Now we're able to put the money where the thank you for your service is. To be able to look you in the eye across this state and say thank you for your travail. Thank you that you have embraced